Hi everybody! We did our presentation on living a full life. We thought this was a great topic just to discuss as college students because right now we're all going through a stage where we're not exactly sure what our purpose of life is yet. Um, in this presentation, some of the questions that you'll have to think about is if you knew or how would you live out your life if you knew you were dying? And this is a hard question, especially for me as a college student, because the last thing I want to think about is aging and dying. So I thought that exploring different or other people's experiences on how they lived a full life would be able to help me in the future or help you guys later on to really sit down and have a conversation with other people or really even think about it to yourself what living a full life means to you. How could you fill your life with happiness and joy um, before it's your time to go? So one of the first things we started off with was an interview from Haley's mother, Jan Johnson. She was a great person to interview because she's really dealt with a lot in life and has been an inspiration to Haley. But I also thought it would be great to share with the class because it inspired me, just her struggles and the things that she's came out strong with, and she's made an impact on my life, and I've never even met her. So I hope you guys get the same meaning out of it as we did. Um, Hope you like our presentation.
I have to say that I've earned my stripes, and I've become almost in my thinking above the thoughts of most people, especially young people, because I see things now with a different perspective than I could have had at any point in my life.
Said I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me when a moment came that stopped me on a dime. I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays and talking about the options and talking about sweet time. I asked him when it sank in that this might really be the real end. How's it hit you when you get that kind of news? Man, what'd you do? And he said, I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu, and I loved deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. He said I was finally the husband that most of the time I wasn't. I became a friend would like to have. And all of a sudden going fishing wasn't such an imposition. And I went 3 times that year, I lost my dad. Well, I finally read the good book, and I took a good long hard look at what I'd do if I could do it all again. And then I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu, and I loved deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you chance to live like you were dying, like tomorrow. and you got eternity to think about what you do with it. What did you do with it?
In the song, it talks about a series of people who were dying and were given a chance on doing the things they always wanted to do. So basically reflecting life if they lived a full life that they wanted. For me, living a full life is basically living in the moment, laughing and enjoying life with friends and family, I guess taking a chance and stuff. In the song, it explains that living a full life is doing the things that you want to do and to love more and to be given the opportunity to forgive people who've hurt you in the past and just doing the things that you've never done before.
Secondhand Lines follows the comedic adventures of an introverted boy who is left on the doorstep of a pair of reluctant, eccentric great uncles whose exotic remembrances stir the boy's spirit and also at the same time reignites both of the uncles' lives. Eventually, Walter must take charge of his own life and decide what he's going to do with it, but all of that is now influenced by hearing all of these stories and learning about the new chapter that he's in by living with his uncles who have lived their life to the fullest. And we also get to see how the uncles can enter a new chapter by teaching Walter and raising Walter and learning how to live their life in the fullest in a brand new way that they've never experienced before.
Get some beers. Hey, old man. How's that barbecue? Give me some.
We're busy. Before we get lost, all right?
What did you say?
Here's a perfect example of what I've been talking about. Since this boy was suckling on his mama's tit, he's been given everything but discipline. And now his idea of courage and manhood is to get together with a bunch of punk friends and ride around irritating folks too good-natured to put a stop to it.
Hey, who do you think you are, huh?
Just dumb kid, huh? Don't kill him. Hug McCann. I fought in 2 world wars and countless smaller ones on 3 continents. I led thousands of men into battle with everything from horses and swords to artillery and tanks. I've seen the headwaters of the Nile and tribes of natives no white man had ever seen before. I've won and lost a dozen fortunes, killed many men, and loved only one woman with a passion a flea like you could never begin to understand. That's who I am. Now go home, boy.
Show these old bastards who's tough. Get out your knife.
Yeah.
Now, boys, you're fixing to let those teenage hormones get you into the world of trouble.
Damn it, Garth, did I ask you to butt in?
Well, you just come out of the hospital.
Well, hey, there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, but, well, look, you fight this one first, and then I'll let you fight the other 3 after, okay?
Yeah. Watch this, kid.
Now, you better pick that knife up, because, son, you're going to need all the help you can get.
Come on, Frankie. Get him, Frankie. Cut him, Frankie. Get him, Frankie. Get him. Get him, Frankie. Cut him.
Shoot. Oldest trick in the book.
Oh, okay.
You're holding it wrong, son. Not like this. You always do it like this. Smooth. All right? Try it again.
Come on, Frankie. Come on, Frankie. Get him. Get him, Frankie. Cut him. Come on. There you go. Cut him, Frankie. Come on. Oh, stop.
You 3 better get in there and help. Always Toad's a bad guy. He's selfish that way.
But there's 4 of them. 3 of them.
Go on, Hey! There's my boy.
Couldn't you share?
Nah. After 40 years, I'm used to it. Besides, right now, I figure he needs them worse than I do. Go on, let's go home.
So the book that we chose for this presentation is called The Giver by Lewis Lowry. It is a science fiction fantasy, and it's also a coming of age story. A brief summary could be that the main character is a boy named Jonas, and he lives in a utopian society and has been selected to train for a rare and honored secretive position called the Receiver of Memory. And he has a new mentor for the position, and his mentor is called the Giver. Basically, the Giver transfers down memories to Jonas by touching his bare back, and it's Jonas's job to preserve these truths and experiences about which the rest of the community is completely oblivious. This allows Jonas the ability to see beyond what his community has been genetically rewired and engineered not to see. He discovers color, and he begins to question why his neighbors aren't given the choice to see color. He convinces himself that given too many choices, people would make the wrong ones, and disaster and chaos would follow, which is why his community and his society has been re-engineered so that they wouldn't make bad decisions. But Jonas experiences, through the memories that are passed down to him, love and pain. And Jonas tries to convince himself that a world with love would be very dangerous, but he also begins to believe that it might be worth the risk. So Jonas's society is founded on the belief that a community will be happy and functioning and fulfilled if it is able to completely void deep emotions such as love and pain. And in order to create a sameness and to avoid these deep emotions, the community is completely regulated by rules and rituals and order. And in this way, no one has to experience prejudice, injustice, or insecurity. But basically, what we can take away from this book is that a life without love is not worth living, which is what we find at the end of The Giver. But to love is to be vulnerable, and to live a full life, we must accept that along with prejudice, injustice, and insecurity, there will also be love, joy, and happiness. And we learn this through the memories that are passed down from the Giver, which basically is what the Giver calls wisdom.
So to wrap this up, what my group and I learned from this project is that living life to the fullest is not about getting large sums of money, the best cars, or clothes, but it's about learning how to enjoy those things in moderation. Living a full life is not about longevity, but it's about being able to reach for things outside of your comfort zone and to be willing to ask for support and guidance. It includes emotional satisfaction, living out one's values, and the development of the spirit. When it comes to defining what living a full life is, it means different things for different people. But one thing that they do have in common is that everybody wants to be happy. And right now we are at a point in our life where the decisions that we make can determine how we live it out. And when it comes to me, I know that I want to live mine out to its full potential.